Welcome.
Thank you.
And I know I'll probably go blank a few times on names. I usually do. So I've done my best to write things down this time. We want to welcome you guys to this great event. We are recognizing businesses and individuals who fly the flag every day and fly it properly. And the one thing that really stood out to me about this location was it's not right on the street. It's not on a main thoroughfare. They're not flying it for flying its sake. And everything I've been told is that they do fly it truly for patriotism. Oh.
Yeehaw.
Better late than never. So first of all, I want to tell you who AMVETS is. We are probably one of the oldest veteran service organizations you've never heard of. Our roots go back to 1944. We are actually the first VSO, or Veteran Service Organizations, chartered by Congress, and it was signed into law by President Harry Truman. So you've heard of all the other guys, and you may not have heard of us, but we're out there. And we kind of like it that way. We kind of fly low, and we just get out in the community. We help our veterans. We have veteran service officers at the VA hospitals that work for us, not the VA, trying to help the veterans get the benefits that they so richly deserve. We also do things like this, recognizing individuals out in the community. We have a welcome home program that is supported by our thrift stores. So the next time you think about donating stuff, furniture, clothing, we have a thrift store in the Long Beach, Lakewood area that supports this program. Recently, Chuck here with the National Service Foundation helped us get 300 mattress sets from Living Spaces to help the veterans. Not only do we find them a home, which a lot of people do, we actually get them furniture. So they don't just walk into an empty space, they have a home and they're welcomed home. And so that's a really big program we do. For the first 2 weeks of the Orange County Fair, you'll find a booth that'll have similar looks here to help and find veterans and pass along the information we can to help them out. We are also probably the most inclusive of the veterans group. That's the way we like to think of it. Anybody that has served and was honorably discharged is welcome. You don't have to have served in a war. You just need to have served, including Merchant Marines, Coast Guard, Reserves, everybody. And there's not another veteran organization that does that kind of thing. So we kind of pat ourselves on the back a little bit. All right, so we want to welcome who has come to share this great event with us today. Of course, we have the owners, Kathy and Dominic Iofino. I believe I got that name right. Oh, I'm sorry, Christy. Christy, changed your name on you there. I've worked with these guys for a while, and I knew I'd get these names wrong. We are proud to have the police chief and assistant police chief of Huntington Beach. That's Rob Handy and Kelly Rodriguez. All right. Help keeping the streets of Huntington Beach safe, and we do appreciate that. Also, we have the city council is here, represented by Patrick Brendan. Welcome. And I just saw Laura Oatman came in. She is from Representative Ruta's office. Is that right this time? All right. And did Ryan Billings walk in behind me anywhere? No. Nope. Nope. Okay. And then we also have the press here represented by Matt Liffering. Yep. Huntington Beach 3, is that right? Yep. All right. Now, I was told that these guys HB Digital has been in business in 1962. And that's pretty good. That's before I was born. With all this gray hair, I was still born after 1962. They're placed down in Alabama, and Adams is their main location, which has a flag right when you walk in. And they are also the printers of all of the, I don't really want to call them memorials, but the recognition of soldiers that are serving that's up and down Maine. These guys are the ones that print those. And they've got a little display inside of also of that. So not only does they fly a flag here, there's a flag inside their lobby and at Dominic's house 24/7 a day. Thank you. So we are rolling into Flag Day, and I'm going to let Chuck Kissel here. He's our first Vice Commander, Dr. Chuck Kissel. He is an expert on the American flag. He's got some books he wrote here that is available afterwards. And Chuck, can you give us a little history?
I'd like to go back to the 47 charter remark and pick up on that. We officially don't have an Articles of Incorporation as you normally would think a corporation would have. We have a charter with Congress. And that charter is predicated on 11 aims and purposes, 8 of which are program kind of things that we have to do. And if we don't do them, our charter could be revoked by Congress. We make 2 reports a year, both in writing. The one in March is verbal, and I've attended most of those since 2004 as the national representative in Lanham, Maryland, but also as the state positions up in Tulare and our local positions here in Orange County. The 8 principles that are programmatic, one of them requires us to practice Americanism within our community. And the aim of that is to make our people better citizens. And that does not have to be a veteran. Anybody who lives in the community can become a better citizen. One of the things that we do is to promote displaying the flag, as you can see behind me, being flown on the pole right at the curb. I am a flag geek. I'm a world recognized American flag historian. And the honor that I have not only seeing and witnessing the presentation of our second trophy only to this company for flying the flag and the work that they've done to do that, but to also provide you with a copy of the current flag book inventory that I have put together. There are over 2,000 estimated flags in our American history, 2,000 plus. I'm showing you 300 in the book. My wife and I own most of these. At 8 abreast and 5 platoons is 200 feet long in a march. This is my gift to you so that when you look at the flag out front, you will be able to see its lineage all the way back to creation. And that may give you a better idea, or a better lens in today's language, of where it came from and why it's important. So to end this, this is also the first year that the National Flag Foundation and the National AMVETS organization have joined forces in a Flag Day effort within the entire continental United States. We're only in 40 states as AMVETS, so we have ways and means of handling the other 10. So I would also presume the territories, but I haven't been informed on that. The National Flag Foundation is headquartered in downtown Pittsburgh, and they have a kind of a corporate plaza with the big TV screens and monitors. And tomorrow, in the late morning, our national commander, along with the National Flag Foundation people, are having their Flag Day ceremony dedication. And all the stuff that AMVETS has done will be sent into that machine and somehow pasted in to that effort. Translation. Today, this event is being recorded, and that footage will be sent to our people at National this afternoon. And some of you, watch out, you could be on candid camera as part of that visual display in the plaza in downtown Pittsburgh. And the initial statement on these will be, here's what AMVETS was doing today. You are helping AMVETS do what we're supposed to do to bring it all the way back to 1947. What in the heck our aims and purposes require us to do? And for that, I thank you for helping us do our job.
Thank you, Dr. Chuck Kissel. We should mention, too, the Flag Day does go back. This is a celebration of the creation of the flag, and it goes back to June 14, 1777. And it wasn't until 1916 with Woodrow Wilson that it wasn't made official. I should also mention, if we have any teachers in the crowd, or if you know teachers, AMVETS runs annually an Americanism contest for its elementary school, right, Chuck? The American essays. Negative. It's K through 12. I'm sorry, K through 12. Essays, coloring contests, all kinds of things, and there are some prizes. So check with us if you know anybody that you think might be interested in that. We just finished this year's, and next year we'll do that again. And one last thing I want to mention before the Honor Guard talks about what they do is, if you ever get a chance to go to Heroes Hall at the Orange County Fairgrounds, our commander of the post, who couldn't be with us today, was instrumental in helping saving us. The last surviving barracks from the Santa Ana Air Training Station that was there during World War II. And there's a bunch of plaques you'll see for Medal of Honor and like Navy Cross, Air Force Cross, etc. Those were all put there by AMVETS. They originally were at the county building in Santa Ana, and they were moved there when that building opened. So if you have a chance to see that, those are all Orange County related individuals. One of them you see there was recently honored by having the Long Beach VA named after him. And he was an immigrant that survived the Holocaust and the camps, and then served in our forces after that. So that's a great honor to have those there. So if you have a chance, please check it out. So Richard Florence is our head of our Honor Guard, our Legion of Honor as we call it, and he wants to tell you a little bit about what we're doing before we fire them off and maybe give you a jolt.
Will I mess you up if I don't get behind the microphone? No.
No.
My voice is loud.
We need you behind the microphone.
My name is Richard Florence, and I'm a retired United States Navy captain. I and the other uniformed members you see here are part of AMVETS Legion of Honor. And as such, we have the responsibility for rendering final military burial honors for all military veterans. Every veteran who served over 6 months is due a military burial. Military burial consists of the folding and presenting of the flag, the firing of 3 volleys, and the playing of taps. Today, we'll do a portion of that. We'll fire 3 volleys, and we'll play taps. I would ask that all the personnel here put their hand over their heart during the playing of taps, and all military veterans please salute. I want to tell you just a personal note, what's so neat about this flag that you guys raised here, again, is that it's off the beaten path, and you don't do it to drum up business, you don't do it to let the people see it, you do it because you believe in the United States of America, and that's very important. It's very important to every veteran to see every business fly that flag every day. So from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of AMVETS' heart, we really appreciate what you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. And as he is getting ready, and I'm getting taps ready here, I wanted to mention quickly, I drove from La Habra to Huntington Beach the other day on Beach Boulevard. The first place I saw a flag other than a municipal building was in Huntington Beach. And they're all over the place. So I'm really proud of the city that I do live in for their great patriotism. All right, so before we fire the volley, I ask for a moment of silence for all those who have served and fallen under this great flag, and those who will potentially do that in the future and still wear the uniform. Commander, fire 3 volleys.
Aye, aye, sir. Rifle team, butted, hut. Port, arms. Aim, fire. Aim, fire. Aim, fire. Order, arms. Present, arms.
Thank you. That's always moving to me, so. Sorry. Phones these days. All right, on to the presentations. First, we're going to have Patrick Brendan from the City of Huntington Beach City Council. And if Christy and Dom would come up, please.
Thanks, Greg, and thank you to the AMVETS for all that they're doing to bring, recognition to people like Dom and Christy who recognize the importance of keeping the flag displayed. I mean, after 9/11, a lot of people said we will never forget, and unfortunately some have, but not Dom and Christy. I've known them for a long time, and I know that everything they do in business and in their personal life is done right, and that's demonstrated in the way they've treated the flag and presented the flag for a very long time. During Flag Day time, it's a period to really think about and reflect on some of the people in our lives who have given a lot, who have served our country. And I want to bring to attention two people in particular today. One is my father, who was a merchant marine in World War II. He was actually in Pearl Harbor the day before the attack. They shipped out. Unfortunately, he was out. But many people don't recognize or know that the merchant marines had the highest mortality rate in World War II. I believe it was 38%, which is astounding. But many of them were out there on the ocean transporting the goods that were needed by our military forces that were around the world. And they were many times unprotected and at great risk. Also, I want to bring to your attention someone that lives in our community here, a gentleman by the name of Lloyd Glick. He's 95 years old. He's my neighbor. He served in the liberation of Guam 75 years ago. And he has actually been invited by the governor of Guam to participate in their 75th anniversary of the liberation ceremonies in Guam next month. And we're going to recognize him as City Council in the near future. But these are people who, go about their everyday life, and you don't realize that many people have given so much to defend our freedom and our liberty. And today, as we think about Flag Day, and we recognize Dom and Christy and HB Digital for their commitment to displaying the flag, I think it's important for us all to appreciate that. So, Dom, I have a certificate here, a proclamation from our mayor and the City Council, and a couple of things I just want to point out. One is that, this is because the AMVETS have recognized you, and we appreciate the AMVETS recognizing businesses like yours that are doing their duty, but also just because the city is so grateful to you for demonstrating patriotism and reminding us of it all the time by displaying the flag proudly. So, thanks, man. Thank you.
Stay right there. There's more to come. All right. Did Ryan Billings or anybody from Tyler Diep's office end up showing up? All right. So Laura Oatman, she's up next. She's representing Congressman Harley Ruda.
Ruda rhymes with Duda.
Ruda rhymes with Gouda. That's great. Welcome.
Hi.
My pleasure.
Christy. Hi, nice to meet you.
Is it morning or afternoon? I'm kind of in a time warp here. Morning still. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. What an amazing way to begin our Flag Day celebration weekend. I'm Laura Oatman. I'm a 46-year Newport Beach resident, your neighbor just to the north, or the south. Oh my gosh, I'm mixed up. Just to the south. And I am so pleased and honored to be here in front of such an esteemed company. And I am thrilled to be able to represent Congressman Ruda, rhymes with Gouda, here today to present this certificate of special congressional recognition to HB Digital. It's a beautiful thing to display the flag proudly, like Christy and Dom do here in front of their business. I think it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's patriotic, and I wish every business would do the same. And Huntington Beach, you're right, really does have a great reputation. I've got nothing but respect for the veterans and the flags. My grandfather served in World War II in the Navy, and my father was a Korean War Army veteran. So I have nothing but respect for the flag and for all of you veterans that have served us and all of our first responders as well. So thank you all for being here, and I'm so proud to present this certificate to this amazing couple. Thank you. Do you have a picture?
Mike's got it. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Dave. Yeah, sure I do.
All right, unless I've missed somebody else, raise their hand if you have something. Okay. So on to our award. So it is technically our Patriotism Award with the subtext of flag, and it's for, sorry about that. I'll read what it says on Patriotism Award, AMVETS Post 18, in recognition and appreciation for displaying the American flag each day. It is an honor to present this award to HB Digital. Your patriotism to our country is an inspiration to all. And to quote George M. Cohen, "You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave." Please.
Hey, so, I don't like mics, so I'll just speak up. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I really appreciate it. Just a backstory. I'm a product of Italian immigrants. My parents came over in '56, and my parents were young during World War II. And they lived in southern Italy, which was devastated prior to the war. It was beat up during the war. And my father always told stories to me of when he was a kid and the American GIs came up through Sicily from North Africa. And he said in the time of the war, the best part was the American military coming through, treating the village and the people in the village with such respect and feeding them in the time when, prior to that, other forces were actually taking food away. They were actually bringing food to them. So when they immigrated here in '56, my father believed in nothing more than America and absolutely thanked the vets and was a big supporter of them since the day he landed in the United States. So thank you guys very much for your service. And so that's all I got to say, except Christy and I are very, very proud of the fact that you all, it's so nice to show up for this. Boy, it just warms my heart. Thank you guys so much.
And again, I want to thank everybody for coming. That does conclude our presentation. There's some information up here at the table if you'd like some of the books that Chuck has. If it runs out here, we do have some more, so please grab one. Learn a bit about your flag. And again, thank you for coming, and thank you again to HB Digital for hosting it. And I do believe there's some food?
Yeah, there's some food.
Barbecue.
There's always food.
Thank you.
All right, so
Dismissed.